What's up, guys? It's your Bagato, and tonight I'll be doing a very late video posting and stuff, so let's just get to it then. I know it's been a long day yesterday and stuff, and yeah, it was crazy. So, I finished this AEW All In, which you'll see, and then later on will be WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. So, I recorded Saturday Night's Main Event during when wrestling AEW All In was about to finish and stuff, so, yeah, so anyways, let's get to it then with the first match on the AW All in Texas. Alright, 0 hour 8-man tag team match. Sons of Texas with Dustin Rose, Ross Von Erich, Marshall Von Erich, and Sammy Guevara versus Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean. I hope I don't fall asleep during this review, man, because it was a long day yesterday. So, anyways, AW All In Texas kicked off the 2 hour, 0 hour premiere show with the Thunder's home state welcome as the son of Texas Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and the Von Erich brothers teamed up to take on the opposing unit of Shane Taylor Promotions backed by legendary Kevin Von Erich. The crowd at Globe Life Field erupted as Texas favorite sons made their entrance. I'm sorry, I couldn't say it right. The match began with Sammy Guevara and Lee Moriarty engaging in a fast-paced exchange, with Guevara hitting a crisp corkscrew drop kick and kicking up to a loud ovation. Tags cycled quickly to Marshall Von Erich, who slammed Moriarty, but Lee slipped away and brought in Carly Bravo. Marshall and Ross responded with a classic tag team fundamentals, but STP soon overwhelmed Ross with stomps and tandem offense in the corner. Momentum shifted again as Captain Sean Dean hit a huge toe con gyro to the outside, followed by Shane Taylor barreling through his opponents with shoulder tackles and a massive corner splash on the Marshall. Taylor briefly took control, flattening all four sons of Texas with the sheer power at ringside. At ringside, tensions escalated with Andy Ogogo got in Kevin Von Erich's face, but Ogogo quickly backed down when Wyatt and Wayne Rhodes' grandsons of Dusty and students of Dustin Rhodes emerged from the crowd to stand alongside the Hall of Famer. Back in the ring, Dustin Rhodes tagged and ignited the crowd with a string of signature offense, hitting a classic snap power slam across Rhodes on Bravo and unleashing a vintage fire across the ring. All a man spilled into the ring as chaos took over, culminating in nostalgic and symbolic moment. All four sons of Texas applying simulations from claws to member of STP. Gogo attempted to intervene again, but this time Kevin Von Erich entered the ring and clapped on his own iron claw to the mouthy Brit, sending the fans into a frenzy. With the ring clear, Dustin Rhodes and executed an iron claw press on Kai Bravo and held him down for a 3 count. So winners are the Sons of Texas. Alright, second match coming up, 0 hour 8-man tag team match. Big Boom AJ and a combination, Hologram Kawai and Tomohiro Ishii versus Don Cal, Sammy Hechiro, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta in a fast-paced and fascinating personal clash on AEW All in Texas 0 hour. The unlikely alliance of Big Boom AJ, Hologram Kawai, and Tomohiro Ishii defeated the Don Cal, Sammy Hechiro, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. The match opened with a stimulation brawls. Brawls erupting around the ring. Hologram Romero paired off early with a mass phenom hitting a stunning standing moonsault and drop kicks that sent a Rocky reeling tag to O'Reilly, led to a flash of teamwork, including a demolition style elbow drop. And Cheryl and Hologram Dazzle with their Lucha Mat exchanges. A drop toe into a sunset flip led to a series of reversals and near falls, culminating in a crisp victory roll from Hologram that nearly ended it. Later, Hologram landed a beautiful Spanish fly on Romero, only to be cut off by Hechiro running dropkick. As action spilled to the outside, Tomohiro Ishii and Lance Archer collided in a battle of bulls. Archer gained the upper hand momentarily with a front suplex slam and a huge elbow strike, but Ishii rallied back with a thunderous vertical suplex to drop the Murder Hawk monster in the center of the ring. From there, Big Boom, excuse me, Big Boom AJ re-entered the fray, hitting a spine buster on Trent Beretta and a press slam that sent Romero sailing to the outside and directly into Archer. AJ looked to finish the job with his signature powerbomb, but interference from Hachiro and rising knee strike briefly halted his momentum. Hologram responded with a flying Frankensteiner on Archer and a senton atomic to the floor that wiped out both Archer and Chiro. The crowd roared as Big Boom AJ regained control, delivering a fierce lariat to Beretta. Big Justice then stormed the ring to his father and leveled Beretta with the surprise spear, setting the stage for the finish. As the referee turned back around, AJ hoisted up Rocky Romero and dropped him with a power boom. A thunder set out powerbomb to seal the victory for the conglomeration. Uh, Big Boom and Conglomeration won the match. Alright, last match for the 0 hour tag team match. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, which is the Outrunners, Truth, Magnum, and Turbo Floyd. The 0 hour crowd at Globe Life Field roared to live as FTR and the Outrunners collided in a fast-paced, fiercely competitive tag team clash, while FTR ultimately walked away with the win. Turbo Flight and Truth Magnum pushed the former AEW World Tag Team Champions to their limit and may have even had the match won if not for outside interference. The match kicked off with True Magnum Dax Harwood trading holds in a traditional grappling exchange until Magnum rocked Harwood with a sharp right hand. The Outrunners stayed hot, isolating Cash Wheeler and keeping the ring cut in half with the quick tags and tandem offense. Turbo landed a big back suplex, but Wheeler managed to roll too close to the ropes, breaking the count. Harwood exploited an opportunity on the outside by targeting Floyd's knee, slamming it into the barricade and clipping it on the ring apron. Back inside, Dax locked on a figure four leg lock, wrenching the hold as referee Paul Turner monitored closely. He's got cinched and tight as Calvert noted as Floyd writhed the pin or something. The Outrunners fought back violently or something. Turbo eventually made the hot tag, delivering scoop slam after scoop slam and a pair of charging lariats in the corners. A huge double clothesline leveled both FTR members. The crowd roared when the Outrunners connected with Total Recall, their signature tag finisher, but as Turbo covered Harwood for a 3 count, Stokely pulled Floyd off the pin to break it up. That moment changed everything. Floyd confronted Big Stoke, but the distraction gave Dax just enough time to recover as Floyd turned back around. Harwood snuck in with a schoolboy roll-up, putting his feet on Morel's leverage with both Cash and Stowe holding on to make sure FTR scored the win. So winner is FTR. Alright, first match on the main card. Alright, I'm not gonna say what match number it is. I was gonna say we're getting we can close the main event and stuff. So anyways, alright, first match on the main card, AEW World Trios Championship match. The Hobbs, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kishore Shibata versus Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Ryu Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. The main card, All In, Texas erupted next. That's the Hobbs and Death Riders, Claudio, Ryu Yuta, and Mercenary Game Kidd collided in a physical high impact for the AEW World Trios titles. Dashing broke down immediately with all 6 men pairing off into brawl. Shibata and Kidd reuniting their deeply personal feud with New Japan's LA Dojo, while Samoa Joe and Ryu Yuta clashed once again after their match on Dynamite just days earlier. Hobbs and Castagnoli meanwhile exchanged heavy shots at ringside as the broadcast struggled to keep up with the carnage unfolding across the arena. Shibata and Kidd traded Fisher strikes in the center of the ring, including a brutal elbow that dropped Kidd to a knee, only for the War Dog to answer back with a thudding palm strike of his own. After a hard reset, Samoa Joe and Ryu Yuta became the legal man, where Joe immediately overwhelmed the smaller man with jabs, a massive right hook, and a whip into the ropes that ended in a brutal back elbow and his signature Ejiguri. Powerhouse Hobbs tagged in and put his strain on display with a delayed vertical suplex that left Yuta disoriented. Kishore Shibata followed up with a snap mirror and precise penalty kick for a near fall before tagging Joe back in. The Dead Riders fired back with quick tags and timely interference. Khalil even used a giant swing into the barricade on Hobbs to try to turn the tide. Gabe Kidd, who spent much of the match taunting and brutalizing Joe with stumps and right hands on the floor, nearly put Shibata away with a sheer drop brainbuster, but the veteran kicked out at one to a roar from the tense crowd late in the bout. Hobbs blasted Claudio off the apron just in time, sending him crashing into the barricade that left Yuta alone in the ring with all three champions. After a snap mirror from Joe and a precise PK from Shibata, Samoa Joe hoisted Weir Yuta up and drove him down with a devastating muscle buster to secure the win and retain the AEW World Trios Championship. But the post-match scene turned even more violent. Frustrated by the loss, Claudio Casno and Gabe Kidd launched a brutal assault on the champion. Shibata dropped with a pile driver. Hobbs was laid out with a flurry of chair shots, and Claudio wrapped a steel chair around Samoa Joe's neck before hitting a horrifying running stomp that incapacitated the AEW legend. So winners are the Ops. Alright, next match coming up, men's Casino Gauntlet match. Alright, so here we go. The stakes were sky high in the men's Forbidden Match as Optimus stealing. Alright, Mark Briscoe and MJF start the match, rekindling the fire from MJF's personal attacks in the lead up to All In. MJF mainly tried to scarf a fast win with rollouts and cradles, but Briscoe wasn't having it, mounting a fierce combat that saw him pummel Max with chops and a big back body drop as the countdown ticked. New entrants arrived at regular intervals or something. Ricochet entered the third and quickly aligned with MJF, double teaming Briscoe until Bandido joined next and turned the tide with a flurry of offense. Bandido back a body dropped everyone to the floor and followed up with a cannonball onto Freeman. The ring filled rapidly from there. Kazuchika Takeshita, Mystico, and Josh Alexander all joined the fray, with Takeshita and Ricochet lighting the crowd up with sequences that included a blue Thunder Bomb and Triangle Moonsaults, while Mystico soared through the air with a top row plancha and locked MJF in a La Mystica. Anthony Bowens, Roger Strong, and Brody King entered in succession. King bulldozed his way through the field, cannonballs in every corner, while Bowens impressed with a swing out face buster. On Ricochet. Strong showcased his signature punishing backbreakers, including a frog kick assisted backbreaker and the end of Hardy on Ibushi later in the match. Surprises continue as a clean shaven returning Juice Robinson entered at number 11 and brought the fight to Ricochet, only to be blindsided by a gaze of agony, who assisted Ricochet until the Guns ran in to neutralize the interference, leading to a huge 3-10 to Yuma. Ricochet nearly got the win with a shooting star press, but MJF broke the pin at the last second. When Kota Ibushi entered at number 12, the Golden Star exploded into action with precise round kicks, Gaminguri on Brody, and a standing movesault on Bowens for a near fall. Beast Morals followed at number 13, bringing devastating power with a Tombstone Codebreaker on Bowens and a pop-up Samoan drop on Juice Robinson. The final entrant, Masscaster, barely made it to the ring before being tripped up by Bowens and blasted by Roger Strong. Briscoe returned with renewed fire, and a pivotal moment landed the J Driller on Strong, only for MGF to strike from behind, tossing Briscoe from the ring and stealing the pin with a simple lateral press. So yeah, MGF won the match. Alright, this is sad right here coming up, because Amico was supposed to be in a fair four-way match and stuff for the team, but this is sad right here. Alright, we have a little segment with Amico. Amico made a difficult walk to the ring at AEW All in Texas, where he officially vacated the TNT Championship due to health concerns, as had been announced in the hours before All In. This is really hard to put into words, Cole began, visibly shaken, but I wanted to come out here and talk to you all. I'm very sorry that I let everyone down and I can't wrestle tonight. He explained that medical issues had rendered him unable to compete and possibly sidelined him for far longer than anyone expected. I have some health issues going on at the moment that not only will not allow me to defend this championship title, but I am gonna be gone for a while. He said, solemnly, I don't even want to think about talking about retiring because I am not in the right headspace. Cole choked back emotion as he addressed the fans directly. Should this be the last time they see him in an AEW ring? You're the best damn wrestling fans in the world. He said to a Thunder's ovation. Since I was 9 years old, I've always dreamed of being a professional wrestler. It's all I've ever wanted to do, and all of you made that dream come true for me. Cole continued with the highest moment and recently my lowest moments. All of you have been so supportive every step of the way, and damn it, I will love you forever. Cole concluded with the gratitude not just for the night, but for the journey. Thank you for making AEW what it is. Thank you for making AEW so special, and thank you all so damn much for changing my life. I love you always. As the crowd stood in respectful silence and support, Cole exited the ring, embracing his Paragon stable mates on the stage and sharing a heartfelt moment with Danny Garcia, the man he defeated to win the title at AEW.C. In that moment, championship gold took a back seat to the bond between wrestler and fan. Oh my god, that was so sad, man. God, to be true though, he looked so skinny right there. When you look at him, when he's talking, he looks so skinny, man. Like something's not right at all. I mean, I'm not being mean or nothing, but something's not right. And yes, I kind of cried a little bit. So yeah, but anyways, right after that, the TNT Champion Fair Four Way match started, which is Dustin Rhodes versus Dan Garcia versus Kyle Fletcher versus Sammy Guevara. A match born out of heartbreak, but filled with this. Okay. Turn. Okay. Danny Garcia, Kyle Fletcher, in a thrilling, emotional four-way battle at AEW All in Texas. From the opening bell, the pace was relentlessly. Sons of Texas worked together, briefly landing a double suplex on Fletcher and a sliding knee from Dustin before Kyle spilled to the floor following a standing moonsault from Guevara. Garcia and Guevara's tangled necks trading up quick pin attempts before double drop kicking Fletcher on his return. The temporary teamwork dissolved when Fletcher flattened both men with a vicious double lariat. On the floor, Guevara hit a jaw-dropping Spanish fly off the apron, taking both himself and Garcia out. Fletcher re-entered and hit Dustin with a Yoshinoku driver, but Rhodes kicked out at one. Fletcher then blocked in a figure-4 leg lock, only for Garcia to mirror the hole on Guevara inside the ring. The painful symmetry broke down into trade slabs and reverse pressure. Both men are released. Before both men are released, Garcia then pulled Guevara up the ropes for a superplex, but Dustin intercepted and delivered a massive flip pile driver to Fletcher, followed by a full impact crossroads. The pinfall was heartbreakingly close, but Fletcher kicked out at the last possible moment. The crowd erupted as Dustin set Kyle up and the ropes for shattered dreams, but Garcia intervened in a surprising moment of chaos. Garcia and Guevara each took turns punting Fletcher low while he was still tied up, waiting for Dustin to finish the humiliation with the Thunder's shattered dream kicks of his own. As the match broke down, Guevara connected with a GTH on Garcia, but Rose broke up the cover. Tensions flattened between flared between mentor and protege, and after a hard exchange of words, they clashed in the center of the ring. Guevara delivered three amigos, but his attempted frog splash met Garcia's knees. Garcia transitioned seamlessly into the Dragon Tamer wrench back in the middle of the ring until Fletcher yanked him out and delivered back-to-back apron power bombs on Garcia and Guevara. Moments later, Guevara countered a brainbuster attempt with a stunning diving ace crusher, only to eat a pile driver from Garcia. Dustin tried to steal the win with a crucifix pin, but Garcia escaped. After another Dragon Tamer on Rhodes with everyone else incapacitated, it looked like the match was over, but in a burst of veteran instinct, Dustin Rhodes reversed the hold into a small package and scored the 3 count, becoming the new TNT champion. After the match, Guevara seemed to hesitate for just a moment before shaking his partner and mentor's hand and embracing him. So winner and new TNT champion, Dustin Rhodes. Alright, next match coming up, Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, EVP titles on the line. Alright, sorry, with the stakes clearly defined, EVP status on the line for the Bucks and a year-long AEW World title ban looming over Strickland and Ospreay. The two teams delivered a match for the ages. Early exchanges saw each side trying to gain control. Ospreay and Strickland hit tandem offense like a poetry in motion corkscrew moonsault, while the Bucks responded with a veteran precision, isolating Ospreay and unloading a super kick party that left the aerial assassin reeling. The Bucks controlled the mid-match tempo, targeting Ospreay with a tombstone set up outside the ring and a vicious penalty kick off the apron to Strickland, but Swerve eventually turned the tide with a diving corkscrew uppercut and a brutal power slam counter into a Frankensteiner. The challengers then connected with the stereo corkscrew moonsaults but couldn't get the 3. Momentum shifted again with rapid fire sequences, including a wheelbarrow facebuster, a drop salt into a enziguri, and a mid-ring explosion of kicks on kicks. The crowd erupted when Swerve and Ospreay executed stereo styles clashes, nearly ending it. They followed with a breathtaking combo. Swerve Stomp assisted Storm Breaker, only for Nicholas to break the pin. Outside the ring, Prince Nana was laid out with a super kick, and inside the Braha continued. Matthew Jackson drilled Ospreay with a low blow, leading to more bang for your buck, but still only 2. The Bucks hit EVP trigger after EVP trigger, and still Ospreay wouldn't stay down. At one point, Ospreay accidentally clocked Strickland with a hand blade, leaving the match hanging in the balance. Matthew followed with a devastating TK driver, but Ospreay kicked out again, defying logic and gravity. Strickland re-emerged, shielding Ospreay from a final super kick party by absorbing the blows himself. As the crowd roared, Strickland rose to his feet. Teeth clenched, taking super kick after super kick before cashing the EVP trigger, countering with a backslide into a tombstone setup. Ospreay ascended and crushed Matthew Jackson with a Swerve Stomp assisted tombstone, but still Matthew survived. In the final moments, Ospreay removed his elbow pad. Strickland lined up the target, and the duo stuck with a brutal house call / hidden blade combo. The cover was academic, but in the Young Bucks were EVPs no more. So winners, Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Oh man, I thought the Young Bucks was gonna win that match, but man, thank goodness they Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay won. Oh man, it was crazy. All right, next match coming up, women's gauntlet match. Women's casino gauntlet match. The forever. Alright, so women's casino gauntlet match coming up. Alright, yet another. The match began with Chris Stanlander and Megan Bain, 2 of AEW's strongest competitors, locking horns in a grueling test of strength. After trading elbows and blocked super suplex, Bain landed a Falcon Arrow, only for Statlander to respond with a risky moonsault off the apron, an opening salvo that set the tone for what was to come. Willow Nightingale entered third, immediately sparkling hostiles with her former friend Statlander. A low crossbody and spinebuster nearly ended things early, but Bain roared back with a leaping lariat and teamed with Chris to land a double chokeslam on Nightingale. Ty Mello entered next and delivered pump kicks to anyone standing, followed by a spinning bulldog on Statlander. Mello even trapped Bain in a painful rings of Saturn, but interference from ringside courtesy of Penelope Ford, Anna Jay, and returning Harding Cameron fractured the ring into madness and cleared the way for new entrants. Thekla stormed in with a flurry of offense, hitting a diving crossbody and engaging in striking battles with Time and Willow. Nightingale nearly ended it with a Dr. Bomb on Thekla, but Stanlander broke it up. broke it up. Then a devastating Doomsday device from Bane and Chris flattened Willow just before the next countdown hit. Julian Hart was Julian Hart was the sixth entrant and instantly made an impact with a diving moonsault followed by a walk the rose old school lariat and a gorgeous octopus hold. But Ty broke it up with a goth, gotch style pile driver, and the chaos only intensified as Julia and her ally Sky Blue traded sneaky assists. Queen Amada entered next, bringing pure intensity with a stiff Queen's crown headbutt and a fisherman's neck breaker, and her brutal off with her elbow. Nightingale broke out the pin with a surprise senton, setting up stereo spider suplexes from Julia and Dekla. Momentum shifted again as Mina Shirakawa hit the ring, wiping out Sky Blue with a rolling soul butt and locking in a creative double submission. A victory rolled death lock on Statlander and a dragon screw leg whip on Sky. She wasn't done yet. Moments later, Mina spiked Bane with a DT and put Stat in a figure four leg lock. The ninth entrant was more other than Athena, and she wasted no time cleaning house with suplexes, big elbows, and a tombstone pile driver on Kiamana as the countdown resumed. Thunder Rosa charged in at number 10, reuniting her heated rivalry with Athena. Rosa connected with a side rush and leg sweep into a Cobra clutch, but it was broken up before she could secure the win. Shuri, making her AEW debut, was the 11th entrant and stunned the field with clinically striking and flawless footwork, lining up Mina Shaka with the rolling soul butts, snapmares, and a wicked roundhouse kick to the spine. Finally, Alex Windsor entered at number 12, going straight after Shuri with a spiking DT back suplex and a Thunder's Blue Thunderbomb. Thunder Driver, Windsor and Shuri went strike for strike in the match's hardest hitting exchange, culminating in Shuri's rising knee that had everyone believing it was over until the pinfall was broken up by every woman in the ring. Bodies piled up outside after Bane ground busted Statlander on the apron, and Will responded with an apron Death Valley driver on Athena. Megan Bane then attempted to scale on the top rope, but Statlander met her with the avalanche powerbomb off the apron, taking out the entire field in a car crash of bodies. In the final moments, Rosa and Mina battle inside the ring. Shirakawa connected with a diving sling blade and a devastating buzzsaw roundhouse kick, then applied a figure four leg lock in the center of the ring, only for Athena to return with the O-face out of nowhere, dropping Shirakawa flush and securing the pinfall. So winner is Athena. Alright, next match coming up, AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball, Mike Bailey versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. By the way, I forgot this match was on the main card, and because I had to go to the restroom and stuff. But anyways, I forgot this match was on next and stuff. I forgot it was on here. So anyways, Alright, from the outset, it was clear the reigning champions were in no mood to play defense. Lashley and Benjamin immediately went on the offense, punishing all four challengers with stiff strikes and power moves, including a nasty spine buster on Nick Wayne and an apron launch face first whipped into a steel steps on Kevin Knight that led the young flyer dazed and vulnerable Jet Speed riding a wave of momentum and quickness, fought by Bailey, Mike Bailey strung together rapid fire kicks and a Ersiguri before tagging in Kevin Knight, who wowed the Texas crowd with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a pinpoint springboard dropkick. The two nearly scored the win off a wheelbarrow rana / double stomp combo, but Benjamin kicked out just in time. The Patriarchy, meanwhile, used timing and cunning to stay alive. Nick Wayne connected with a cutter and a full Nelson suplex, while Christian looked to steal the win with a reverse DT and a frog splash, but MVP broke up the pin to save the titles for his crew. MVP just saved it for the Hurt Syndicate, exclaimed Taz at ringside after the match. As the match spiraled into mayhem, all three teams threw caution to the wind. Christian Cage attempted a kill switch on Lashley, but the Almighty shoved him directly into an incoming FTR who were watching from ringside, and then delivered a crushing spear on Cage for the 3 count. After the bell, FTR climbed into the ring, clearly incensed after being caught in this crossfire. Christian tried to backtrack and lead his team out of the ring, but then shockingly, Nick Wayne turned on his mentor, dropping Christian Cage with the unprettier to a stunned reaction from the crowd. FTR looked on in disbelief, then nodded in encouragement as Nick looked for. Finally, they slid in steel chairs and set up for a con chair two until the arrival of Cope brought the arena to its feet. Board of nails in hand, the Radar superstar stormed the ring, steamrolling Wayne and clearing the field. He then helped Christian to his feet, looked him in the eye, and simply said, "Go find yourself." So winners still AEW World Tag Team Championships champions, the Hurt Syndicate. Sorry, there's different champions on here, so it's kind of different kind of champions, tag team champions on the show and stuff. But anyways, all right, our triple threat main event is up next. First out of three match is AEW Women's World Championship match. Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné. All right, so we go. The build to this match was full pageantry and pressure. Mercedes entered covered in gold, escorted by the 6 shooters, while Tony Storm arrived with a thorough stage production feeling of her Thomas moniker. But once the bell rang, the artistry gave way to an intense and technical war. The early goings featured tight grappling, with Monet attempting her statement maker submission and Storm countering into a series of near falls. Monet went to the mat with a Hester's takedown, then transitioned beautifully into a grapevine ankle lock, but Storm powered through, reversing into a roll up. Storm fired back with the German suplexes and her signature hip attack, while Mercedes punished the champion's arm with a joint manipulation and a tight double wrist lock. A sunset flip powerbomb from Monet on the floor stunned the crowd, and a follow-up buckle bomb only added to the champion's mounting injuries, especially after her nose began bleeding from mid-match strike. Momentum strong repeatedly as both women hit signature moves. Tony landed the Storm Zero, but Monet kicked out. Mercedes connected with the Monet Maker, but Tony somehow survived. The crowd watched breathlessly as the two exchanged a blur of counters. Monet with a backstabber, Storm with the STF, then a crucifix attempt into a lung blower. In the closing moment, Storm set Monet up for one final assault, with both women exhausted and bloody. Storm pulled Mercedes to the top turnbuckle and planted her with an earth-shaking avalanche. Storm Zero scoring the win and defending her championship. So winner and still AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm. Oh, thank goodness, man! I'm so happy. Toni Storm retained her title. All right, next match, second match for the triple main event is AEW Unified Championship match. AEW Continental Champion Konosuke Okada versus AEW International Champion Kenny Omega in the fifth. Okay. With Duncan spewing venom on commentary and Kota Ibushi at ringside in Omega's corner, the match began with a slow burn of both men masters of their craft, jock eye for control through crisp chain wrestling and psychological warfare. Okada delivered a cheap shot to Omega's midsection, the same region damaged during Omega's diverticulitis battle, setting the tone for a Medloco targeted assault. Okada relentlessly worked the abdomen with DDTs on the floor and the Spanish announce desk, stomps, shoulder, gut busters, and a tombstone pile driver. Every move forced Omega to fight from underneath, wincing or something in pain. wincing in pain with every breath. It's the center of everything said Taz. You can't protect your abdomen in a match like this. Omega found hope with a missile drop kick to the back, a dragon superplex, and a series of V triggers, including one to the back of the head while Okada was draped in the ropes. He even landed Croyd's Wrath and the One Winged Angel, but as referee Bryce Rems were counted, Dunkhouse pulled him out of the ring, robbing Omega for the win. Back in the ring, the action escalated again. Omega landed a staggering Teneri bomb into another V trigger, but Okada countered the elbow up into a tombstone, a discussed lariat, and then two Rainmaker attempts were both avoided at one point. Omega pulled off an avalanche dragon screw suplex, nearly dropping Okada to his head. The crowd erupted in disbelief. In the final exchange, as the two collapsed to their knees and rose treating elbows, Omega countered a Rainmaker attempt with a small package for a near fall. Then tried to reset with another V trigger. Okada absorbed it, reversed the next shot, and hit one final emphatic Rainmaker lariat, becoming the inaugural AEW Unified Champion. So, the winner and now AEW Unified Champion Kazuchika Okada. Alright, main event coming up. Here we go, guys. Main event. AEW World Championship match. Heyman, Anna Page versus Jon Moxley, who's the champion. Match from there. Uh, Okay. War, soaked in blood. Okay, anyways, here we go. The match opened with Fizz flying. Moxley struck first. Page responded and thrown from there. We were off to the most brutal races you'll ever see. Forks were introduced early, with Page gouging Mox's forehead, painting his chest with the champion's blood. Moxley retaliated by wrapping barbed wire around Heyman's face, drawing deeper wounds, and Rina Shafir joined the assault by biting at Page's lacerations. From there, the violence escalated rapidly. Moxley reintroduced a barbed wire steel chair, launched it at Page's head, and followed with a cross-face strikes and a stomp that embedded glass into Page's back. Tables were set up outside the ring, tombstone piledriver into the glass, and later a gotch-style piledriver into the back, piledriver into the back of the chair, and Moxley firmly in control, but Heyman refused to stay down. Page fired back with a powerbomb into the backs of two steel chairs and a barbed wire wrapped a rolling elbow after Wheeler Yuta interfered and was taken out by Page with a barbed wire elbow and Angel's wings. Rana Shafir returned only to be taken out with the Death Valley driver off the apron and through a table by hanger. Page landed a dead eye into the glass, but Claudio Castagnoli gave Kid right to swarm him again, just as it looked like the numbers would overwhelm Heyman will Ospreay right for the save, only to be decimated with a chair by Claudio as Ospreay was stretched out. Moxley took advantage and suplexed Heyman off the apron and through the barbed wire tables, and then hit a Gotch-style pile driver followed by a bulldog choke. When that didn't finish, he leveled Page with a Death Rider into the back of a chair. Still, Heyman stood at 9. A bag was passed to Moxley, a plastic bag like the one used to end Bryan Danielson's career months earlier. As Mox prepared to suffocate Page, Darby Allin appeared in a video promo filmed from the summit of Mount Everest, promising revenge, and then Bryan Danielson returned, dressed in blue, disguised under a mask. Danielson exploded into the ring with a bazooka knee and began unloading kicks on every Death Rider in sight. The arena erupted. Seconds later, Darby Allin rabbled down from the ceiling, descending like a specter of vengeance. He wiped out the remaining Death Riders with a coffin drop, while Danielson launched Breeder off the barricade. Back in the ring, Heyman dropped Moxley with a buckshot lariat and followed with a dead eye off the apron and through the table. Moxley struggled to rise, Marina Shafir helped him up, flipping off Page, but the fight wasn't over yet. The Young Bucks hit the ring with a superplex party with an EVP trigger, aiding Moxie and introducing a bed of nails from under the ring. Moxie drove Page into it with a blackout, followed by a paradigm shift into the nails, yet somehow Heyman survived. As Moxley demanded the locked briefcase containing the AEW World Tag Title, Presnana appeared and handcuffed Marina Shafir to the barricade. And moments later, Swerve Strickland made his choice, stringing to the ring with Heyman's own steel chair. Swerve took out the Young Bucks and then walked to the apron and handed the chain to his former bitter rival. Heyman didn't hesitate. He wrapped the chain around his fist, leveled Moxie with loaded punches, then looped it around his neck and draped it over the top rope. A buckshot lariat into the bed of nails followed, and with one final heave, Page hung Moxley over the top rope again. The chain cinched tight. Mox struggled with a sheer panic all over his face, but he had no recourse. A quick tap out gave Page the championship once more. He grabbed the briefcase, ripped it open, and brought that big, beautiful belt back into the light where it belongs, holding the championship high over his head. Heyman got emotional while the entire crowd and Arlington celebrated as one. Heyman is your AEW champion, and All In was a night unlike any other. So your winner and new AEW World Champion, Heyman and Page. Oh, thank God. Thank God he won. Oh my fucking God, man. I can't believe he won finally. Holy shit, man. Finally, for months since last year, somewhere last year now. Oh my God, we've been waiting for that AEW championship will to come to the light, and now it's finally home where it belongs. Oh my God, man. The Dead Riders storyline pisses me off every single week when it first started, and I hated it so much. And the storyline did not make no sense at all with the Dead Riders, like, to anybody. So yeah. Anyways, AEW All In was good. I enjoyed it. I'm just happy Heyman and Page won the championship belt. I'm just happy, man. I'm just happy he won. Thank fucking God he won and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy. He won. So anyways, this was the first video out of two, which is the second video will be WWE Saturday Night's Main Event coming up soon. And yeah, so anyways, that was this first video. Hope you like it and not whatever. So like, subscribe, hit the button, leave a comment if you guys want to leave a comment stuff. My current guys doing. That was it. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, laters.